Honestly, I don't even know, like, the reason of why this planet is as fucked as it is. Like, and I don't mean I don't know the reasons behind it, because I know exactly the reasons behind it. Like, I don't even have to get into that, you know what I mean? What I mean is, I don't get the reasons behind the reason of why it's like this. Like, for an example, I I get the reasoning behind the fact that the world's fucked because the people in power were like complete fucking idiots, and like their greed is like so put into their brain that they'll cut off people's own oxygen supply just for a little bit of money. Like, that bit I get, but what I want to know is how the fuck does a human, how the fuck does a human, a living, breathing human who needs oxygen to survive, come to the logical conclusion, bearing in mind they run the fucking globe, they come to the logical conclusion that they need to cut down the oxygen supply? Please. Like, as I said, I get that it's their greed and shit like that, but I need to understand what has caused the cause. Like, you know what I mean? What's it called in the courtroom of law? Like, eligible cause or something. Like, I'm just... It's just so mind-boggling to me. It's like, imagine how beautiful the world would look if we weren't cutting down trees every fucking 5 seconds. Like, imagine if for every tree that we have cut down throughout the years, we'd planted 2. That's a very easy thing to do as well. For every 100 that get cut down, you plant 200. And if that was the case, or just straight up we stopped doing that, then the world right now would be so much easier to live on. Why? Because we'd have so much more oxygen. But humans, yes, humans have decided that the best cause to get profit is to cut off the thing that lets them breathe profit into existence. Like, make that shit make sense. Like, seriously. Oh yes, we need oxygen, we need this, we need that. But, we need money. We need money. We need money. So we have to cut down the oxygen. We have to cut down the oxygen. How else would we get money? It's not like we have anything else to get oxygen. It's not like anything else we can just get money from, is there? It's like, what? So, let me get this straight. The thing that allows you to breathe and the thing that allows you to fucking literally shout out the orders of cut this down, cut that down, do this, do that. The thing that gives you the breath in order to make those fucking noises heard is the thing that you want to cut down. Just popping out for some... Are you lot actually medically okay? Like, how is it that... Like, seriously, like, most people like me, for an example, if I was to, like, for an example, like some dumb shit that my mates have done, like, I swear to God, like, we drink out on the fucking street corner and we get glared at like we're some type of fucking wrong-uns. But then it's like, we actually have intelligence. But then the humans that like literally control the planet and literally make everything happen is literally medically fit enough to literally cut down their own oxygen supply and our own oxygen supply. This is the thing. Is that if someone was to, like, literally say walk into a fucking hospital or something and then start cutting the oxygen off of the fucking patients in there, the person who did that would not only be going to jail for fucking mass attempted murders, but their mental health would also be deeply looked into to see what caused them to do such a stupid thing. But then, the ones that control the world do that exact thing on a global scale. And everyone thinks that they're fit enough to run the planet. Humans, y'all are sorry. Like, you're the most sorriest species of being I have ever had the unfortunate accomplice to have to put up with. Like, seriously, y'all might think that I'm just trying to, like, be some type of egotistical narcissist or something along them lines, but why? Why do you lot think that you can survive without oxygen to the point where you cut it down on a global scale, and the people that do it, you don't try to stop them at fucking all? And the people that do try and stop them, the minority, somehow the only people that are actually, like, standing up for, not cutting off people's oxygen, are the minority. Humans. Idiots. Idiots doesn't even quite quantify the level of stupidity that humans have. Like, I could call someone a retard. I could call someone a spastic, a vegetable. I could call someone stupid, deaf, or dumb. Like, there is no quantifiable word to display my amount of fucking disgust and sheer mind-numbing brain rot that is humans being so stupid that they'll cut off their own oxygen supply and then complain when fucking things like respiratory illnesses come through and they get worse. Really? Just think about this for a second, yeah? I'm talking to y'all fucking humans now. Please just think about it for a single second. From the moment where you was able to cut down trees, yeah? From the first moment you was able to do that shit. Please tell me, would any respiratory illnesses or pandemics that have come into existence within the past 20 to 40 years would have been anywhere near as bad if y'all had stopped cutting down the trees and planted more trees? Think about how little the pandemics of COVID would have fucking affected y'all. Like, imagine the level of fucking just imagine how much easier it would be to breathe right now, let alone when you've got a cough or a cold or something like the coronavirus. Imagine how much easier it would have fucking been to breathe on your planet if you'd stop cutting down trees and instead of cutting them down, plant two. Imagine that over, say, a scale of 200 years. Imagine how much easier it would be right now. Just imagine it. But yet the people that say to stop cutting down the trees are the minority. The people that have got a brain to the point where they're like, oh yeah, let's not cut off our own oxygen supply, are the minority and get called like fucking climate change activists, literally just because they're like, well, no, we kind of need oxygen. Like, the fuck? Like, I just do not understand the levels of... I can't even describe it. It's like... I've, from what I can remember, I've been through multiple timelines where I can, I've seen like paradise. I've seen what this planet used to be before the invention of cutting down trees. And it was honestly the most beautiful thing that y'all would never have seen. Like, y'all haven't seen that shit. I have. And I'm not talking about going to a national park or something along them lines, no. I'm talking predating weapons, predating tanks, predating cars, planes, electricity, stuff like that. Predating just stuff in general. Like, I'm talking like from, say, about the 13th, 14th century all the way backwards. It's something y'all can't even quite understand, let alone quite quantify. Like, y'all just can't understand it, like, straight up. Because I can draw what I've seen. That's how well I remember it. I experience things that the average being does not even know exists. Like, let me put it to y'all like this, yeah? The trees that you see today. Trees. Okay. What I've seen is insane. And any one of y'all that's literally a government official, doctor, or any type of person who's in the hierarchy of consumers and just things around the nature, like public servants, like police, stuff like that. If I say that to any of y'all, you'll just look at me like I'm fucking insane. But the problem is, I'm quite the fuck normal. That's the thing. I'm generally quite normal. Y'all just haven't really gotten to see people like me before because I'm the last of a dying breed and I'm very rare. That's the thing. I won't say so much as I'm a star child or however you like to call us, star seeds, stuff like that. But I mean, it would explain on how, you know what I mean? It would explain how I've been able to see things that predate damn near humans. Like, you know what I mean? I know the 13th, 14th century isn't predating humans. Like, I know that. But, I mean, the things that I've seen, like, I remember I was walking down a cycle track, like, about 5 minutes away from my house. And I shit you not, I was literally just, I saw the tree, like, because there was literally an actual, what you lot would deem as trees on my right hand side. And I just looked at it and I saw a tree on top of it, but gigantic in proportions. I'm talking big enough to make redwoods in America look fucking small. And I don't mean that they were like just fucking like boom up the way. I mean they were fucking wide as well. Bear this in mind, there was only one tree there, but then this all happened within a few seconds and it was literally, I stared at it for a little bit and it changed from a long tree, just like a normal UK tree, into a tree that was probably twice as high as a redwood tree that you get in the States, like the proper big ones, but then probably at least about a mile or two, something along them lines, wide. I'm not really good with measurements, but let's just put it this way. It was on the scale of the Devil's Tower. That's what it genuinely looked like. But it had branches on it that was in proportion with the actual tree stump. Like, this is what I mean. This is what I'm saying when I say I see things like this, and it's in great detail to the point where I can even tell you the colours, the different colours of the leaves. It wasn't no autumn, like, all browny, orangey, red leaves. No. It was like greenish leaves, like different variations of green, very slight but very different at the same time. I'm talking like bright electric green, well, not electric green, but you know what I mean, like bright green, and then you had like a slightly like darker green, and then you had like the proper dark, weird type of green that the was it like the 2012 Incredible Hulk is, like that type of green. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I remember, I don't know if I've still got it over there, but let me see if I've got it, because y'all will just be like, yo, that's just a stupid drawing. Like, what the fuck's the story behind this? But I'll literally tell you. I'll tell you the story behind this, because yeah, y'all could be like a bit like me, being like not so much pessimistic about it or cynical about it, but this is what I experienced, and I drew it in the same detail. So when you see this picture that I drew, this is exactly what I saw, down to the minute of details. That is literally it. That's me laying on a tree branch that was at least about 8 foot wide. I tried putting it into proportion because, well, I'm tiny, like literally only about 6 foot on a good day. If I wear my heels, then I'm 6'5", so it's all good. But yeah, look at it. Big ass tree, sun, bunch of smaller trees, and then it was like I was in a jungle, and then there's a big ass tree branch there, and then there was an even bigger one there, and that was me. And then there was grass there. And that's the thing. That's exactly what I saw. And now, y'all are going to be like, well, how the hell do you see that? And then as soon as I say this, which is I saw it in a dream, all of you are going to be like, oh, well, don't, like, that's just normal then. Seeing weird random things like that in your dream is normal. Yeah, it's normal, but not when it's consistent with the things that you see within seconds of each other whilst awake. Like, this is the thing. That was when I was, like, literally fast asleep. And then you know how you're supposed to usually forget all of your dreams the moment you wake up. Yeah, as you can clearly see, I didn't fucking forget that shit. And then you've got the second one that I did, but I don't have the actual picture. It's with someone. But this one, I drew it within a 5-second interview. Yeah, an interlude. Like, so I literally, this is what happened. I just sat there, like, doing nothing, just talking to the person who I was with at the time, just sitting on the bed, just straight up, just looking at the TV, and then just went, like, down like that and just looked at the bed for about, say, 5 seconds. And then in those 5 seconds, bearing in mind I was wide awake, and then in those 5 seconds of looking at the bed, I got this picture of where I was. And it was me walking up the path like here, and there's trees, like beautiful green trees, like on either side, progressively getting bigger the further you go up, there's 3 mountains. One there, one there, one there. There's a fucking giant ass human peering his head over the top right one. There's the sun in the top left. And then in the fucking fat ass middle, you have this massive ass fuck off tree that is as big as the mountains. And then you've got all these little, like, the bushes and stuff that are growing up said mountain. And then get to the bottom of the mountain, and then you've got all the green vegetation and stuff like that, where I was walking, and then obviously you've got me in proportion to the actual trees and whatnot. And that is again within 5 seconds. I drew all that within 5 seconds, just like that. I was just like, yeah, talking, yada yada yada, and then like that, and then it just boom. Like, it was like, how can I describe it? You know, like when in those ghost videos, like you can see sometimes people get possessed and then all of a sudden they'll start like writing things out, like literally just being like, they'll go like that and then they'll just grab something and they'll start writing and it's like, what the fuck are you writing? Like, type thing. That's kind of like what it was. It was like, and then just boom, a flash in my head and just started drawing it. Like I had this image that I was just there, and that's how I was able to do it so quickly. Because usually if you're trying to do something like that, then you kind of need, like if you're doing it with your imagination, it's like you'll stop, think. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what next? What next? But no, this shit was literally like that in like 5 seconds. Like literally 5 seconds. Alright, cool. Done. Like, this is what I'm saying. Y'all humans do not experience things like that. Like, I've seen the world. Like, again, whilst I'm walking around in nature, I've seen the world for what it could be. And I've also seen what the world could be if humans continuously keep destroying it. I've literally seen it with all fucking 3 of my eyes. These 2 and this one. I've seen it all. I've seen what we used to be like. I've seen the constant fall of humanity and society at every fucking turn over thousands and millions of empires worth of years. I've seen all of that. But then I've also seen the paradise that it was like before we let our fucking greed start creeping in, before we started all this wars and poverty and all these genocides and stuff, before all that happened. Yeah, I've seen it before all of the materialistic bullshit, all of these fucking lines in the sand called borders and shit and all these kingdoms and stuff. I've seen it whilst the kingdoms are there, whilst the castles and the kingdoms are living. I've seen that. I've seen before the kingdoms were even around, before they even knew how to make castles. I've seen it before we had any type of anything like close to civilization. Before all that shit, I've seen the paradise of what this planet once was. I've seen us from the moment that we've literally stopped at being peaceful and then living in paradise, to then boom, castles, kingdoms, all this shit, to then boom, where we are now. Like, where are we? Exactly. We're on the lower end of the spectrum. We're destroying, well, I can't even say we, but y'all are destroying the planet. And I've seen it with this eye that it is going to be burning. All of it. All of it will be burning. Like, literally. All these beautiful landscapes, all these national parks, all these trees, all these beautiful green vegetation, all these flowers, all these herbs, everything. It will be burning to the ground on a constant flame of just fire. It will be burning. And that will be your doing. Because your greed allows you to sit there and fight for what? Natural resources. Give it back to the people. That's all there is to it. Stop being greedy. Stop being greedy. Stop creating wars through greed. And then watch how the world would change. You know what I mean? I've seen that. I've seen our future. And I say our future because whilst I'm living on this planet, well, what am I going to say? That I'm not on this planet? Like, seems a bit stupid, doesn't it? But then, yeah, it's like I've seen the actual end game of all of this, and it ain't pretty at all. I can tell you that it ain't pretty at all. Because bearing in mind, I was walking down a nice cycle track where the sun was beaming in my face, beautiful trees and everything. I think it was in summer, and then 5 seconds, like not even like I shut my eyes or anything. I was just like, whoa, like type shit. And then that's what I saw. I saw everything around me being burnt to flame, no, burnt to like ashes. Like it was horrible. And that's where y'all and me are going to be ending up if we do not change. Because I, for one, I know for the majority of people, especially people that are hippies, would actually want to live in the paradise that I mentioned. But we've got to get there first. And right now, we're closer to being an endgame than what we are to actually being living in paradise. And this is the problem. Because y'all forget, it's 99% versus 1%. And y'all letting the 1% tell you what to do. Like, come on now. Make your mind up. Like, you're supposed to be the most... You're supposed to be the most... what a brilliant song, considering what I was just talking about. But yeah, y'all are supposed to be the most evolved species on this planet. Yeah? You're supposed to be that. So, if you're the most evolved species on this planet, then please tell me why we still have things like wars over such materialistic things, such as greed, lust. Like, why is there still poverty? Why do we still, well, not even we, why do y'all still hate people for things that they can't control, like their skin colour or where they come from or stuff like that? Why do y'all still, like, be racist towards each other? Why do you hate each other? It's because the people that actually run this world don't want y'all actually coming together. Because it's divide and conquer. And that's the thing. Y'all need to wake up to that shit. Because before it's too late. Because, let me just be honest. There is nothing about any one of y'all that shows me, or anyone, don't matter whether they're from a different universe or from a different planet or upon the same planet, like, not a single fucking being on this planet is evolved at all. The only thing that is evolved through millions, probably even billions of years of y'all being alive on this planet and just not knowing what to do, only thing that's evolved is the way y'all kill one another. And the more technology plays a part in it, the easier it is to kill people. Because you don't see the look of pain, anguish, defeat and depression and sorrow and rage and anger and sadness in their eyes as you go to kill them. That's the thing. I know for a fact that quite a lot of y'all, if you had to sit there and look at the pain in someone else's face as you decide to take their life, I know for a fact a lot of you would just straight up be like, I can't do this. That's the thing. But because it's now pretty much as easy as just pressing a button like you're pressing it on a phone or a keyboard, It's almost like you're playing a game type thing, and you're like, oh shit, let me just call in a UAV, or let me just call in a nuke. Oh yeah, look, I've got a 30 kill streak. Call in a nuke. You know what I mean? Some Call of Duty shit. That's all it ever is. Like, because you don't have to see the pain, the anguish, the death, and the depression, and the sheer rage and sorrow that you are causing. If you had to live through that and see the look of defeat and depression and just despair on people's faces who you have killed in the final moments of their lives, you would regret everything. And you think I'm pissed? You think I'm taking the piss? I'm not. I'm talking to all of you. Aurora says it all. When the last tree has fallen and the rivers are poisoned, you cannot eat money. Oh no. The timing couldn't be better, and it's about time y'all motherfuckers listen to that and fucking actually do something. Because just give some hope to some people.